Welcome to another episode of Wired for Success by Liberty Electronics. My name is Mark Cessar, and I'm here today with Scott Anderson, the Director of Business Development here at Liberty Electronics, and has been for the last 21 years. Today we are here to talk about reshoring. So Scott, I'll just start it. Why are we making a video about reshoring?
Well, hey, thanks, Mark. It's good to be with you again. Reshoring, as you can imagine, is a hot topic recently. Liberty has worked with customers over the years that have not realized benefits from offshore suppliers, but recently a lot more OEMs are looking to move from offshore suppliers to domestic suppliers. The Institute for Supply Management recently reported that 74% of companies have experienced supply chain interruptions. And Thomas Industrial Survey reported that 64% of companies are actively looking to move some or all of their supply chains to the United States.
This may seem like an obvious question, but why is there an increased interest in reshoring, Scott?
Well, it's no surprise, but the COVID-19 pandemic is driving a lot of this. Companies have not been able to get their parts shipped. Factories have been closed, and they've suffered as a result. And second factor is tariffs. Since the Trump administration has imposed stiffer tariffs on some countries, the OEMs have experienced some cost increases that they've had to deal with. So I'd say third is the USMCA that was just enacted here on July 1st. It replaces the NAFTA agreement, but it is expected to have upward pressure on Mexico's labor rates.
Well, do you expect any other factors to drive this movement?
Well, U.S. energy costs have been coming down. We've increased production, lowered costs, and have become a net exporter of energy. So that helps U.S. manufacturers both with product cost and with transportation costs. And I'd add to that, there seems to be an increased awareness of natural disasters. You may recall the earthquake and tsunami that hit northern Japan and resulted in the Fukushima nuclear reactor incident. That was a huge disruption to supply chains. And more recently, closer to home, in 2017, Hurricane Maria, when it hit the Caribbean, caused damage to supply chains. Liberty, in fact, was able to pick up some business when one of our competitors' factories closed there. Another issue is that we might have reached a tipping point with the theft of intellectual property. There seems to be much more awareness of that. There's some threats of regional conflict, the South China Sea, for example, that have made people nervous. And then crime is also an issue. We've had customers say that they're actually afraid to travel to certain parts of the world because of crime.
When reshoring, why should an OEM consider Liberty Electronics?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is location, location, location. Liberty is blessed to be located in a part of the country that, well, both geographically and culturally is a low-risk area. So, and then second, I would say our experience in helping OEMs transition from one supplier to another. We have some robust processes in place and technology in place that really helps smooth the transitions. And one of the things that we've learned from our customers is that when considering the cost of poor quality, cost of missed deliveries, Liberty can actually lower their overall total cost of ownership.
Well, thank you, Scott. My name is Mark Cessar, and this is Scott Anderson. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Wired for Success by Liberty Electronics.